Tony Bellew versus David Haye 2 is just over a week away. I'm looking forward to the fight. The first fight was a bit of a laugh. It was real sloppy from Haye's perspective. I was stupid enough to put a bet on. I thought Haye was going to win in the first 3 rounds. That didn't happen. He was swinging so badly in that first round. He looked like a guy who was drunk. He already kind of looked like he was injured. His arms, he was swinging so wide, it looked like he was going to throw his arms out of their sockets. And Bellew fought the right kind of game plan. He was conservative. He moved. He wanted to wait until Haye tired, which he started to do, but then he got a little bonus as well, and Haye's Achilles went to top it off, which really did have a change in the fight. And it's pretty much the biggest bit of, well, it's the biggest factor, isn't it, in this rematch? How's Haye's body going to hold up here? If his Achilles doesn't go, if his arms don't go, if everything's just about fine and he just relies on his boxing ability and fitness, I would still kind of favour Haye at this point. In the first fight, before the injury, I thought he won pretty much the first 5 rounds. He was able to keep Bellew quiet just by making him wary by cocking his right, because Bellew really wasn't doing much unless Haye overreached badly and then he was countering him a bit. Apart from that, Bellew was very quiet and just waiting for Haye to really capitulate, which he did in a big way. But if Haye is able to keep things together and his body holds up, then I favour Haye. But he's had so many injuries recently and his body just seems to be his worst enemy at the moment that I pretty much expect something's going to go wrong here. Haye's body, his hand, his leg again, his knee, his elbow, whatever it could be, I know, a torn pectoral muscle, something's going to happen, I reckon, and Bellew is going to be able to capitalise. And as another thing, because Bellew really does want this more, and Haye's already making that transition to the promotional side of things, he's going to be willing to go to those dark depths again to get it done. And unless Haye, I think, can really nail him clean and just put him out, Bellew's going to hang around. He's going to use his underrated footwork. He's going to be moving around. It's going to be a similar game plan. And he's going to wait for Haye's body to break down again, which I reckon it's probably going to do. And then, of course, because Haye's a bit older, he could be even a bit worse this time. We might get the same crude swinging dude we saw in the first fight. And then something pops, something breaks, and Bellew's on top of him. I do think it's going to be entertaining. They're both amusing characters, both emotional. They both try to get the moral high ground, even though they both kind of know what each other's like. Haye's a real kind of like sleazy car salesman type guy who's always lying. He's got the nice profile and the polish when he talks to you, but he's said some right shit in the past and hasn't backed it up. And Tony Bellew likes to play the humble guy, but he's always trying to get the moral high ground, even though he's very entertaining and, of course, a very tough guy and good fighter. I think this is going to be an entertaining fight. Bellew might be right. It might end earlier this time. David Haye's body might just completely break down early, but I think he's going to at least dig his toes in and fire some big haymakers before he does go down, make for an entertaining fight. But I ultimately think his body is going to betray him again, and it will be the end of the haymaker, and Tony Bellew will play the real humble role once again. What do you think, though? Who wins this rematch?